Hi everyone, it's Steve with Finding Men's Peace, men's life coaching, and wanted to talk a little bit about my experience as being a distance runner, long distance runner, and how that appears in my life in other ways. But first, a couple of things, just totally unrelated. One is um, I'm getting tired of hiding my quarantine hair. So I'm at that point where it's quarantine hair, don't care. So there you go. You can see how it's growing and getting long in the back and curling. Um, those of you who remember me from high school, you probably remember that. That's how I wore my hair back then. But I haven't done that in a long time. So anyway, cool. So what I want to talk about is uh, just thinking about me as a distance runner and how I applied concepts from distance running to the rest of my life. And sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. And so when I started running when I was 15 years old. I was a freshman in high school. And I remember it was probably my sophomore year, my cross country coach, he was running with us. When I think back on that, that's pretty cool. He was young for a teacher, but he was maybe 29 years old. And he was running with us, and he would often kind of impart wisdom on us while we were running. And he was talking about how us as distance runners, one advantage it would have for us later in life is that when our friends were having trouble getting through different aspects of their life, maybe something was happening and they didn't really have that resilience to get through it. As a distance runner, we would because we had trained for so long in pushing past our limits. Um, so obviously it stuck with me. That was 35 years ago, and I still think about it. And he's right. That has helped, but it's also hurt. There are times in life where you just can't power through. And so, in a way, I've become kind of an endurance junkie because of being a distance runner. I'm used to pushing my body further than my mind thinks it can go. And I started learning how to do that when I was 15 years old. I was a lot better at it at 15 than I am now too. But hey, I still do that. I still know how that feels while I'm out on a run. That discomfort level starts, and I keep going because I know that my mind starts telling me I can't do something before my body really can't take it. And so that's great when it comes to being a runner and pushing your limits. That makes a lot of sense. It makes sense in other aspects of life sometimes too. It does help with that resilience mindset, but there are times when it doesn't work, and or there are times that it might work, but you don't know for sure. So I'll talk about two examples. One is my past relationships. I've been in two marriages that ended in divorce, and one thing that I brought to those relationships when things started going um, downhill, I guess, when things weren't working, I brought that endurance runner, that long distance runner mindset to that game, where yeah, the relationship isn't working, but I can take it. We'll get through it somehow. I don't know how we're going to get through it, but I can do it. I can take it. So I took that stance, which ultimately doesn't work in a relationship. And so that was one reason those relationships didn't end. It wasn't the only reason, but that was one reason the relationships did not last. And whereas what I could have done is like, so far I've been powering through it, and so far it's not getting better, and it probably won't unless I start working on it, unless we start working on it, but I have to do my part. So in that case, I would have done better to have gone out and found someone to help me with that. And eventually I did, but by the time I did, especially in my second marriage. Eventually, I did go out and look for help, but by the time I did, it was more or less too late for both of us. So and then I apply it. The second example, I apply it to the current scenario where we are in quarantine, more or less, related to the pandemic for COVID-19. And I live in North Carolina, which is a state that's coming back, bringing the economy back slowly. So 4 phases, we're in phase 1. So things are opening slowly back up. But I have friends that are out there. They're ready to get out there and meet and have social gatherings again and things like that. As a distance runner, I can imagine actually waiting this thing out until it's actually fully over, once there's a cure or herd immunity happens. So I could actually imagine being at home alone most of the time, going out for necessities and things like that. But I can actually imagine doing that for 2 years. And so there's a part of me, and that it's that endurance mindset that almost wants to, because I want to prove that I can, but that doesn't mean that's the best thing for me. And that's something I have to decide, and I have to decide when it's right for me to go out, get out there with my friends again. Chances are it's not going to be 2 years from now or 18 months. It's going to be sometime soon, fairly soon in the grand scheme of things. But that distance runner mentality comes back to me. And I can imagine it. I mean, I've never run a marathon. I'm a distance runner, but I focus more from a race perspective on 5Ks and 10Ks, and I'm not really a competitive runner anymore. I still run 5Ks and 10Ks, but I do it mostly for the exercise. But I've never run a marathon, but I know I could run a marathon. If someone told me, Steve, you have to run a marathon today, your life depends on it, I would do it. I could do it. It wouldn't be easy. It wouldn't be fun. The last half of that run would be hell probably, but I could do it. I just know I could. And so I know I could go 18 months to 2 years in this current quarantine scenario if I had to, but do I have to? That's the question. And that's where coaching comes in. That's where I'm glad I have life coaches that I work with that can help me kind of filter through all of that and get to the right answer for me. And that's the importance of life coaching. And that's where it really helps anyone who does use a life coach. Life coaches help you make your best decision. They don't give you advice. So as a life coach for men, I don't give you advice on what I think you should do. I help you come to your right decision through the tools that I have to help you do that. So yeah, this was on my mind, that endurance piece, as far as being a long distance runner, and how endurance is great for running, and it is great in other aspects of life, but it is not always the right answer. Just got me thinking of that, and it just helped me realize that, first of all, I use that endurance running mindset in a lot of other aspects of my life, but it's not always the right mindset, and it's coaches that help me move from that mindset that's not really the best in this current scenario to what might be the best mindset for this current scenario, or is the best mindset in this current scenario for me, by not giving me advice, but by helping me work through it with the tools they have. And I'm here to do that for men too. So if you're watching this video specifically, and if you're a man, or if you're a woman watching this video, and men, this coaching might help, you can visit my website. It's peacefulmen.com. You can leave a message here under comments. I will put my information for my coaching business at peacefulmen.com in the comments to make it easy for you to get to if you want. Send me a personal message, whatever works best for you. So thanks for watching the video. Have a great day, and I look forward to seeing or hearing from you soon. So have a good one. Bye.